Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. The tutorial I'm going to be doing for you today is a butterfly. This is probably the most popular girl's face around, so I'm going to show you how to quickly and simply lay down a really effective design. Now the first thing we need to do is lay down our base. The colours I'm going to use today are blues and greens, just because it snowed today and I'm feeling quite Christmassy and wintry, so I'm going to do an icy butterfly. You can use whatever colours you want. Make it up on the spot. You can choose colours to match your client's clothes if you want it all to tie in, or you can ask your client what their favourite colours are, so you can do it to suit them. I'm going to be using the Grimace 12 palette metallic colours. You can get these at most face and body paint suppliers, or just Google it online, they're all over the place. The colours I'm going to be using are this darkest blue. I'm going to use the green, it's more of a jade green, this green is quite a limey green, we're going to use the jade one. And we're also going to use the pearl white at the bottom. So that's the three colours. The first colour we're going to start with is the dark blue, and I'm going to take a sponge. This is a round sponge which I've cut in half. That gives you the nice straight edge at the top. When it's round, it's really difficult to paint a straight line, so if you cut it in half, that automatically gives you the straight line without any effort. Dampen it down and just load it up. So just on the tip of the sponge, I've clipped my hair back so you guys can see what I'm doing, and you're going to start in the very corner of your eyes, over your eyelid and up to about your eyebrow area. Don't go too much higher than that, okay? So you're just pressing the sponge into the corner and dragging it up. Go right into the corner of your eye and over the lid. And then, as you can see, I've got to my eyebrow. You can bring it up slightly higher than your eyebrow, but you don't need to go too high with it. And it's covered my whole eyelid. Just going to go above my eyebrow a bit more there. Do exactly the same on the other side. The next colour we're going to do is we're going to take some of the white onto our sponge. I've just turned my sponge over, I'm using the same one, turned it over and using the other side, and again I'm just loading the tip of the sponge. And we're now going to paint this over our eyebrow, bring it down onto the eyelid, we're going to blend it into the blue and we're going to take it up slightly higher. So just dab it over the top. It won't be white because it's going over blue. It's just going to become a pale blue, which is exactly what we want. All the way down the corners. And then we're going to turn our sponge around and use this little edge here, and we're going to add the green. And this is going to go on the edge of the white. So we're going to start at the top and we're going to bring it all the way down so it's in line with our eye. Start at the top and just press it in. Sort of follows the shape of the head round. I'm also going to bring some blue underneath my eyes. I don't want too much on there, so I've got an old towel here which I'm just pressing my sponge onto just to remove some of the paint. You want your sponge to be quite dry, and you're just going to lightly go underneath your eyes. Just bring it down a little bit. So this is the sort of base that you want to end up with. Now, while it's still wet or damp, we're going to add some glitter. I'm using this blue glitter from Silly Farm. It's in a puffer bottle, but I'm going to use my finger just so I can control where it goes. The puffer is great if you're doing an all over face and you just want a complete glitter everywhere. I'm just going to put mine onto the actual wing designs. So I've dabbed my finger into the top and I'm just going to press it on where I want it to go. I'm going to put it all over, I think. And because my paint's still slightly damp, the glitter is going to stick to it. This glitter won't stick if you put it onto completely dry paint. It will just fall off, so it needs to be a little bit damp. Okay, our base is done. It should look something like this, nice and sparkly. And the next thing we're going to do is add our lines. Now take a brush. I'm using a round number 8 brush, and I'm also using black Diamond Effects paint. This black I find is the best one because it's nice and dark. Okay, and our first line is going to be at the top of our wing. We're going to place our brush down, drag it along and then lift it up at the end. So it's going to go something like this. So you lay your brush down, press down quite hard so the brush is completely flat, and then as you pull it downwards, just lift it up so you get that sort of shape. Okay, Okay, so our first two lines are down. We're going to use these lines as a guide for where our next lines should go. Load up your brush again, and this time we're going to start on our black line that we've already created. Now we're not going to start right at the top, we're going to start in the middle of the teardrop, and you're just going to lay your brush down, wiggle it along a little bit, and then flick it in to the middle. And do another one, put some more paint on your brush, another one underneath that. So start on the teardrop, on the corner, sorry, lay it down, wiggle it along, and flick it in. Just neaten up that edge there. The last one, I'm going to bring this one in slightly, so I'm going to lay it down in the middle. See where that corner joins around? I'm going to lay it down in the middle of it and just wiggle it in and up. Okay, so we've got our outside lines done, and we're just going to blend them in a little bit more. So using the same brush, I've wiped it on the towel a little bit to remove some of the excess paint. And what we're going to do is just feather these lines just so that they're not so harsh. So to do that, you just pop your paintbrush on there and just swipe it inwards. You want some really long ones and some really short. Just smoothing it out a little bit. And do the same on this side. I'm also going to extend these top lines down a little bit more towards my eyebrows. Okay, we're now going to go on to the lower half of our butterfly. I've changed my brush over. I'm using a Royal Majestic number 3, which is much thinner than the number 8, obviously. It's a lot littler. I'm not going to put wings in the bottom. I'm just going to put some teardrops in. So your brush is nicely loaded, and what you're going to do is start in the corner of your eye. You're going to do a really thin line, and then you're going to push down at the end, and that will create sort of an elongated teardrop. Okay, and we're going to add a couple more of those. So 2 long ones, and I'm also going to put in some regular teardrops in this corner here. So for these, you press your brush down and then flick it in. Got hair in the way. Press your brush down and flick it in. And I'll do one more, if I can get the angle right. Okay, and then go ahead and do the same on the other side. And there's the lower half of our butterfly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add some more detail to the corners of the eyes. I'm using the same brush, black paint again, and I'm just going to add a few little dots into the corners. Okay, so we added the black dots in the corners. I also went in with some Diamond Effects white paint, and I added some dots in the top corner and the bottom corner of each wing as well. Just to add a bit more detail and to break up the blackness. There's quite a lot of black paint on this face, but I just wanted to add a few bits just to break it down a little bit. So this is our finished face. I hope you like it. If you wanted to, if you had time, you could go in and add a body to your butterfly with some antennae, anything like that. I'm just going to leave it like this. I think it looks quite nice. It reminds me of a fairy actually, so I quite like this look. You could also add some lipstick. If you're painting it on a little girl, they love lipstick, so a nice pink I would probably use, or some blue. Bring the blue down from the eyes to match it all in. Thanks for watching my first ever YouTube tutorial. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe because I've got loads of videos coming out. And that's it. Basically, keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Bye.